It's another great day in the RV park, and welcome to another Kenny's Kantina. I'm getting out and exploring the countryside around Philadelphia here. The other day I did a road trip up to the quaint town of Jim Thorpe in the Poconos. It's really cool. You can catch a scenic train ride, stroll the shops of the town. I picked up some olive oil and different things along the way. And about 20 miles north of there is Boulder Field at Hickory Run State Park. Really neat glacial formed rock boulder field. So it made a great day trip. Today I'm whipping up a tasty one-pot meal, dirty rice. Now, dirty rice is a historical Cajun or Creole poor man's dish out of Louisiana. It's a simple, tasty one-pot dish. It's inexpensive and easy to make. Cajuns used to make this dish with whatever leftover meats they had, like chicken gizzards, things like that. We're not going to use that, so don't worry. The rice was a cheap way to make the meal go a long way to serving the family. Today, dirty rice is mostly made with ground beef or pork. The combination of the Cajun Trinity, meat, rice, and spices make a filling, flavorful meal. And it's great for a camping recipe, and you can make this dish as spicy as you like. Tony Chachere's Creole Seasoning recently sent me a variety of their spices to play with. They sent their original seasoning that is fairly easy to find in grocery stores, along with the more spice and bold varieties. These are progressively more spicy than their original. They also sent their spice and herb, which is good as a blackening spice. These other spices are harder to find in grocery stores, especially if you're not in the South, but you can find them online at Tony Chachere's website or on Amazon. I decided on the flavorful spice and herbs and made a batch using 1 tablespoon of spice. I passed the samples around the RV park to get feedback. People thought it was great. I then made another batch using 2 tablespoons of the spice and herb, and the feedback was even better. People said it had a lot more flavor and was not overly spicy. So let's get cooking. Prep time for this dish is about 10 minutes. Cooking time, 30 minutes. What we're making today will serve 4 to 6 people. You can store it in a refrigerator for a week, and you can freeze it as well. The ingredients that we need are 1 pound of 90% lean ground beef, 1/2 cup of chopped sweet onion, 1/2 cup of chopped green pepper, 1/2 cup of chopped celery, 2 tablespoons of butter, a tablespoon of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's Spice and Herbs Creole Seasoning, a cup of long grain rice, and 2 cups of beef stock. So let's get started here. First thing I'm going to do is chop up my onions and chop this into like 1/4 inch slices or dices. Okay, let me set that aside. And let's get the green pepper. Let's slice that down. And chop this about the same, 1/4 inch dices. Okay, let's set that aside. And then the celery. I love having celery in dishes. It just really adds a great flavor. Okay, and set those aside. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my stove, get the pot heating, and I'm going to take my 2 tablespoons of butter, put that in. Let me get that melted up. So now I'm going to take the Cajun Trinity, the onions, bell peppers, and celery, and add that to the dish. Get that going. Mix that around. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon of garlic. Get that mixed up all good. Get a nice sizzle there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a cover on this, and that'll help speed up the process of cooking the veggies. It's going to take about 5 minutes. So hold on a minute, and we'll be back with you. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and that's all. The onions are nice and translucent. The peppers are getting soft, so that's good. Now let me add the ground beef in, and I'm going to put that into the pot and get that all mixed and stirred. And now I'm going to add the Tony Chachere's spice and herbs. There we go. Let me mix that up. Okay, now I'm going to leave this on high heat. I'm going to let that brown part way for about 5 minutes. And then we'll be ready to keep going here. Been 5 minutes. Let me stir that up good. All right, it doesn't take too much longer here to get this to brown. So let me take the rice, add that to the pot, stir that up. I'm still on high heat for now. Get that all mixed in good. That smells good with those spices and the onions and garlic and everything coming out. And let's take our beef stock, pour that into my measuring cup. Okay. And let me add that to the dish. Mix that up good. And I'm going to put a cover on top of that. And I'm going to watch it. And when it starts boiling here, it's going to take about 5 minutes. It'll start boiling. So let's give that a minute. So it's been about 5 minutes. I've got a good boil going. So I'm going to turn the heat down to low. And then let me set a timer for 20 minutes. And we'll be back with you. Okay, and let me turn the heat all the way off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to let that stand for 10 minutes without the heat. Let me set that again. All right, there goes our timer. So now let me go ahead and take the lid off and grab a fork. And I'm going to fluff the rice with the fork. It smells good. Okay, and this rice is now ready to serve. But before I do, let me grab a taste of this. A nice good spoonful. That tastes great. The beef stock gives you a really rich taste. You can taste those spices, but it's not too overpowering. And those onions and peppers and celery, it adds so much flavor to the dish. Yum. All right, enjoy your rice. Now for serving, you can serve this as a main dish or you can serve it as a side dish. So tips on this, you can use Tony Chachere's other Creole seasoning in place of the spice and herb blend, but taste the spice first to determine the hotness of the spice for you. I'd start with 1 tablespoon of the other seasonings. You can always add more spices once the dish is done. Go ahead and only use 1 tablespoon of the spice and herb if you or your guests don't like hot, spicy dishes. Individuals who do can always add more of the spice after it's cooked. I like to have a little Tabasco on the table. You can just spice things up a little bit with a few drops of Tabasco. And if you use less than 90% ground beef in this dish, you're going to need to drain the excess fat prior to adding the rice and the stock. That's one of the reasons I use the 90%. That saves me a step. I don't have to drain the excess fat off of the pot. Now, the beef stock makes the dish richer, but you can substitute water for the beef stock if you don't have it around. A tip when you're warming this up after it's been in the refrigerator, add a little bit of beef stock or water before you heat it up in the microwave, and that'll help keep the dish moist. So thanks for joining me for Dirty Rice, and I want to thank Tony Chachere's Creole Seasoning for sending me their spices to dry. The Dirty Rice was a big hit in the RV park. So check out their website for all the Tony Chachere's products at tonychachere.com. Next time on Kenny's Cantina, I'll be cooking up a Thai coconut pineapple stir fry using Capital City Mambo sauce. The stir fry is a light dish that packs a lot of flavor. I want to thank all of y'all from around the world for tuning in to Kenny's Cantina. I really appreciate you. See all my episodes and get the recipes at my website, kennyscantina.com. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Kenny's Cantina wouldn't be possible without the help of my sponsors, Tony Chachere's Creole Seasoning, IBC Productions, and the Road Hogs Media Network. So a big thanks to them. See y'all on the road.